If you're looking to start an Amazon arbitrage business and you want to give yourself the best possible chance of being successful as a complete beginner, then you need to watch this video from start to finish, because I'm going to go through the single most important tool that you need to be successful at Amazon. It's the exact tool that got me to 6 figures in sales in less than 1 year, and I want to help you have the same success. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the video. And make sure, if you found anything that you liked in the video, to please give me a thumbs up and to also subscribe. So let's get started. Okay, so what is the single most important tool to being successful in an Amazon arbitrage business, or any Amazon business for that matter? It is Keepa. I'm sure you've heard of it before, and it is a web-based service that tracks Amazon products, availability, sales rank, and a complete database of Amazon's entire catalog of price history on a product, and it is honestly the key to your success. And without it, you will not be able to make any informed decisions on whether or not you should purchase an item or not. So you need to learn it, like seriously learn it. And it's not just something that you probably should do. Like, you need to learn it. If you want to be successful and actually start making real serious money on Amazon, you need to learn how to read Keepa charts. Okay, before I forget, you're going to want to download the Keepa Chrome extension. This is going to make sure that when you open up any Amazon links, the Keepa chart is just going to automatically show up. So just make sure you sign up for that here. Okay, so I think the best way to know whether or not you have a very good profitable product is to just start getting into looking at some Keepa charts. I'm going to start from the very beginning. A Keepa chart consists of 3 different charts. There's going to be the top chart, which is going to show you, I'll start adding in the tabs here, the buy box. And the buy box is always designated with a magenta colored line on the graph. And then next, it's going to show you sales rank, which is always going to be designated by the green. And sales rank alone can also be seen in the second chart over here. It's also not only tracking the sales rank of the category, but also you'll notice right here, floor sweepers and accessories is a subcategory that this specific product is under. So it's also tracking that. I mainly just look at what the category is. And something to note, which I'm sure you already know, the lower the sales rank, the faster the product is selling, and the higher the sales rank, obviously the slower the product's going to be selling. And then next, the thing that I really like adding to this is the new third-party FBA, which is always going to be designated by these little orange triangles. You can actually see it more that they're orange triangles, okay? And then that's how you can zoom into. You just the box here, and then it zooms into the time. You can always zoom out by just double-clicking the box. The other thing that I like to add is new. Right here, I just like to see how the new offers are happening, which is just something that I like to see. And so the new offers and prices are always going to be designated by a purple color, which you can see right there. And you can also see at the bottom here. And then the other thing that I like to see, FBM product, like for instance, there's some products that are cool to sell FBM, and you just want to make sure that it's actually selling as merchant fulfilled. Like during Q4, for instance, you're going to want to sell a bunch of things as a merchant if you can, because there's just so much selling during Q4. And a lot of the times, like, there's a cutoff date. So if you don't get your stuff in like early part of November, it's not going to make it there for Q4. And that is when there's just so much selling happening, and that's when people make so much money. So what can wind up happening is that you're going to find a bunch of things that you're going to want to merchant fulfill, just so that you can keep selling and really optimize on the time of the year, which is Q4. And so you can always add this button, which are these designated by these blue boxes show FBM sellers or merchant sellers. And that's just cool to know, because then you know that it's happening, and you know that you could probably sell this as a merchant and it would be okay. And I say it would be okay only because usually when you're selling on Amazon, you'll see that Amazon is going to prioritize FBA sellers and not FBM sellers. So you just want to keep an eye out for that, like if you are planning on merchant fulfilling anything. So I usually just take that off. Okay, before I continue with the rest of the video on all of the Keepa components, I just wanted to plug what I think is the best Amazon course on the market, which is the FBA Roadmap. And I'm not just plugging it because I want to, but I personally did it myself. And it just gives you every single piece of information that you need to, from a beginner all the way to completely scaling the business to 6 figures and beyond. And I've paid thousands of dollars for Amazon courses, which I wasn't too pleased with. And I've also paid for the FBA Roadmap, and it totally made everything easier to understand. It made it faster to understand things, and it also boosted my confidence in what I already knew, which I think is something that people really, really need when they're starting something that is kind of different and is considered a side hustle and, is not really in the main. So again, you can check out the link below, and I would love if you signed up for the FBA Roadmap because it can totally help you change your life. So back to the video. I also put the list price, which is price that Amazon thinks the market should be, or third-party sellers should be selling this item at. So I have that on. And that's everything. We're not going to be doing anything with used products or warehouse deals or any of those things. So again, let's just recap. Magenta signifies the buy box, and the buy box means the price that Amazon is going to be rotating the price at throughout the various different sellers. And you can see that this item has a buy box because of this square right here. So what we know is that right now the buy box price is $31.60, and the one that is owning or selling the buy box right now is G Deals LC. This is a third-party seller, and you can always know that because it doesn't say ships from Amazon. So that's how we know it's a third-party seller, and that's obviously one of our competitors. And then we can see that because this has a buy box, which is this magenta line that it's going through and through, Amazon is going to be rotating the buy box with these other 55 sellers, okay? So what does that mean? And it does seem like there's like an arbitrary algorithm to what the buy box means, but what I've seen is that if you are within 3 to 5% of what is the current buy box price, you're gonna be able to sell your item. Like all of these guys here are definitely gonna be in the rotation, but look at this. It reveals to us that these people have 1, 4, 1, 1, 1. So because this item sells, which you can see, 55 sellers is not really necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's actually really good. It just shows that there's a lot of selling happening, and there's definitely probably a lot of money going to be made just because of how many sellers there are and the way that this Keepa graph looks. And I will explain more as to what I mean. Okay, then this is sales rank. It's always going to be in the green. And then new offer count. So this is purple, which is right here. So this just shows the number of people that are selling it new, which is what we want to see. So you can see here, like right here, it went from 21 new offers to right here, like 31 new offers. Okay, and then you're gonna notice that you can change these tabs right here. So you can do 3 months, you can do the year graph, you can do the entire sales history, which that's a bit crazy to look at. So probably really you're going to want to look at the year graph if you're going to be buying things in advance or something like that. And the 3-month graph is really where most people are looking at anything in terms of sales history. I don't really use the month graph, but that's something to look at too. So the 3-month graph is what we want to look at, and then we're going to look down right here where it says current sales rank. You're going to see the current sales rank in both the main category and the subcategory for the 30-day, the 90-day, and the 365 trend. And then this right here, top 1%. I really like to focus on selling things in the top 1%. And what that means is that it's the top 1% of the category. And I found that if you stay within the top 1%, it's going to have a pretty consistent sales volume, and that's what you're going to want to look for. Like things that are at 2%, the graph's going to look a lot different, which I'll go over, but I really want to show you what good graphs look like just so that you can get like a sense of what it is. And then the next thing that you should know is this very interesting metric that Keepa keeps track of, which is called the sales drops. And it's pointed down because the sales rank is dropping. It's actually tracking sales rank and only sales rank. And people often will tell you, like probably in videos that you might come across, that it means that it sells 58 times. That's not what it means. What it means is that the sales rank has dropped 58 times in the month, which is good for us because if the sales rank is dropping, that means that there's more sales volume happening, because the lower the sales rank, the more the sales volume is going to be. So within those drops, there's probably multiple sales happening. So maybe we could 3x the times of sales that's actually happening. And then we can actually vet that by the fact that we can see many different things. So we can press data, which is a very important part of Keepa. And then you can get a bunch of product details here. Really, the main thing that I like to look at here is to make sure that Amazon is out of stock right here. So 100% of the time, Amazon is out of stock, because what it would look like if Amazon was in stock is that you would see this graph would have a highlighted orange tab, or it would be just completely orange in this bottom region. And that would show that Amazon is on the listing. And we don't want to compete with Amazon, because when Amazon is on a listing, they're just going to completely monopolize the buy box, and you're just going to have no chance as a seller to actually sell that product. And on top of that too, Amazon is going to have the best price, right? So there's no chance of arbitrage happening whatsoever. Like, they're just going to have the retail price, there's going to be no markup, and there's going to be no profit margin for us. So you're going to want to avoid products with Amazon at all costs. Some people like to dabble in that, which I do know when I've been successful competing with Amazon is definitely during Q4, or when there's definitely inventory issues on their end, but that's pretty rare. And I'd say that's not like a very like workable model in the long run. That's just kind of certain occasions and caveats when that makes sense, which is usually Q4 when Amazon is having trouble keeping stock in for the holidays. That's when you can probably compete with them. But other times I'd say definitely don't compete with them whatsoever, unless somehow you get the item for almost free and then you can sell it at the retail price that Amazon is going to be selling it at. That would be probably the only situation where that would be viable. Okay, so let's go back to data here. This just is going to give you like all of that information that was in the graph, but just in a more list-friendly view, right? Like you can see the current sales rank, the 30-day sales rank, 60, 90, 180, etc. You can see those drops that I was talking about that was at the bottom part of those graphs, along with 30-day drops, 90-day drops, 180-day drops, and definitely this metric right here, you want to look at that. 100% out of stock. We like to see that. Even if it was like 85% or 75%, that could still be really good, especially if the last time that it was in stock was like in January. That's still totally fine. Okay, and then that's everything that I looked there. And then you know that you can see how much it weighs and all of the package details, which is important because probably you're not going to want to send anything to prep that's going to be oversized because that's just going to be way too much. And then this is a very vital piece of Keepa, which is this button right here, offers. So offers is going to show you every single offer right here. These 55 sellers is all going to be listed out right here. And what's truly amazing is that we can know exactly the number of stock that they have. Obviously, this is like a ballpark number because we don't really know if maybe this guy is having 100 that's going to come in stock or something. Unlikely, because most of these people are OA sellers. Like they definitely, this is an OA product. As like the price of it's only $12.74. So this is definitely an OA product and it's selling for pretty much triple the amount. So it's definitely OA. So we don't really need to wonder if these people are going to buy 100 of them. They're definitely probably going to buy from the same supplier, which is Big Lots if I remember. So what we can see here is that they have, this is their stock, and then it tabulates the entire thing, which is 283. And then this shows how many sold, which is 6,589. And then what we can see here, you're going to want to look at this, which it says Prime and it says FBA. So all of these sellers right here, this is Amazon Warehouse, so that's different. So all of these sellers are selling this FBA, which is good for us, which means that if you send it FBA, like you're going to get priority, because sometimes what it would say, I see FBM only. See, look, there's only 2 people selling an FBM, which means that this is primarily being sold as an FBA product right here. So we can see that. And then we can also see, look, in the last 30 days, this person sold 4. And then this is where you're going to be able to see that the average amount of sales that this product is getting could be pretty near this number, which is 730. This is the average selling price. And then the next thing that we need to look at is this, buy box statistics. So this is going to show the statistics of this third-party seller. Like, what is the statistic of him winning the buy box? And he's won it 13% of the time. Whisper Sales has won it 9% of the time. Primary Distributions, 9% of the time. So we like to see this because we know whether or not someone is monopolizing the buy box or not. 1% down the line. That shows that there's a lot of rotation of the buy box, and you're going to just definitely get your share from Amazon. And Amazon is trying to supply that need of this item, which based on it is almost selling 750 units more. Honestly, the top of 13% is not taking too much of the pie for the rest of us. So it's very good. And so you're always going to want to do this sequence. You're going to want to look at the price history to look at the price. You're going to want to look at certain things in the product details. As I mentioned, is Amazon out of stock? You're going to want to look at the offers, and you're going to want to look at buy box statistics. All right, so that's everything. That's some Keepa 101 on the single most important tool that you need in starting your Amazon arbitrage business. Again, make sure that you like the video, comment if you have any questions, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And if you're still on the fence about Amazon arbitrage, I do have a free beginner's guide that I made, and you can just check the description bar down below, and I have some other cool links that you can check out, and let me know what else you'd like to see.